Hey guys, welcome to Heart Academy. This is for my Montgomery College GED class, English, and I just posted an assignment that you can do some practice with. And then we'll go over it again on Saturday. The first page I posted is this. Same type of practice that we've been seeing before with context clues. So this is from a classic piece of literature, a Shakespearean literature play or reading called As You Like It, and a selection from this reading, and it's got a lot of complicated words in it, and so this would make great practice again, trying to use context clues in order to help figure out words that you probably are unfamiliar with, or words that you just don't see every day, especially when it comes to Shakespearean language. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly go through with what to do on this one if you choose to do this assignment. So at the top it says Shakespeare's language using context clues. William Shakespeare's English is often difficult in the beginning for modern readers to understand. Below is a passage from Shakespeare's play, As You Like It. Read the passage and pay special attention to the underlined words. So I'm going to go over like maybe two of these with you, and then I'll leave the rest for you to do for practice, and we can go over it on Saturday, okay? So this is from As You Like It, Act 2, Scene 7. That's what it says right here. All right. I'm going to go ahead and read until I get to the first underlined word, and then we'll take a look at the first question. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in the time plays many parts. In his time plays many parts. His acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. I'm going to read it again. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. So the underlined word right here is mewling, okay? And so we're going to go down to number 1 and try to take a look and figure out what the word mewling means by using the context clues that are around it, okay? So when you read this first part right here, like I read, what are you picturing in your head? I'm trying to picture me, well, I know it's a play, okay? And then I also know that that it's also in Shakespearean time. And this part right here tells me that there's a man playing a part of 7 different ages. So first it says as an infant, mewling, can't even pronounce the word correctly, and puking in the nurse's arms. All right, so think babies. So when you think of a baby in a nurse's arm, what are you going to think of, or what typically would you see? Let's go down and look at our multiple choice questions and see if we can answer it simply by the context clues that are given to us that help describe and picture this image. Mewling, so we're looking at sleeping, reading, talking, or crying. Okay, so now sleeping, would sleeping fit? So let's see, at first the infant, sleeping and puking in a nurse's arms. Usually don't sleep and puke at the same time, so I'm going to think that this one's not going to be it. Or B, reading. At first the infant, reading and puking in the nurse's arms. Don't read and puke at the same time either, unless you're car sick or something. And usually infants don't read. And talking, infants don't only talk either, crying. Crying and puking are probably the 2 things that babies do best. So I'm going to assume that using my context clues and what I know about babies, that mewling is something that has to do with crying. So correct choice would be answer number D, letter D. Okay? So now, let's take a look at the next thing. I'm going to keep going because I see the next underlined word, which is right here. Try another one. And then the whining schoolboy. It's gone from an infant to a schoolboy, if you notice. Remember, it did say 7 ages. At first, the infant. So now he's a schoolboy. And then the whining schoolboy, with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like a snail, unwillingly to school. Okay, so then the whining schoolboy, with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like a snail, unwillingly to school. So what are you picturing right about here? I'm picturing a schoolboy's age, right? And even if I don't know what satchel means, I know he's got a shining morning face, so, must be nice, bright, and clean in the morning, right? He's creeping like a snail, unwillingly to school. So probably kid, toddler type kid, school-age boy kid who does not want to go to school. But what's a satchel? So you're going to school in the morning, and again, the context clues around you. What are some of the things that we know that children use when they go to school, or what they put on when they go to school? Let's take a look at our choices for the word satchel. A, table, I don't think this kid is going to be grabbing a table to take with him to school. B, bag for books. Sounds about right, doesn't it? A modern day backpack or book bag. C, lemon. Probably not lemons. And D, a wide road. Of course, using process of elimination, your context clues of knowing what a schoolboy would be carrying to school, your most appropriate choice would be letter C. B, letter B. Okay, so as you can see, this goes all the way up to number 12, and I'm pretty sure that you can handle it from here on out. And then I'm going to take a minute and then go through how the next pages work. All right, hold on a second. Okay, so we're looking at the second part of the assignment that I had posted. The second part contains about, I think, maybe 4 pages of questions like this. Okay, and here's what you should do. If you choose to do this part of the exercise, here's what's going on. So you have a sentence, and again, you can use context clues to help you figure out which word best fits into the blank space. Okay? So circle the letter of the word or set of words that, when inserted in the sentence, best fits the meaning of the sentence as a whole. Again, using your skills with context clues again. And these are lots of words that are probably hard to pronounce. You might not be familiar with it, but again, remember what I said, it's always best to use a dictionary if you're not sure. Okay, so I purposely did this because I wanted to use words that we don't hear every day, and then also to make sure that you're able and quick to pull up a dictionary using your phone or whatever device that you have in order to figure out the meaning of words. Again, the whole point is to increase vocabulary, because when you increase your vocabulary, that helps increase your reading comprehension, which helps increase any score as part of that GED test. Okay, so here we go. So number 1, Troy was blank when he wasn't elected class president. His spirits were so low that there was nothing we could say or do to cheer him up. Let's read it again. Troy was blank when he wasn't elected class president. His spirits were so low that there was nothing we could say or do to cheer him up. First, what are you picturing? I'm picturing Troy, who's not very happy, as you can tell, because it says his spirits were so low that there was nothing we could do to say or do or say to cheer him up, right? So one of these words, let's say I don't know what any of these words mean, right? But because of context clue, we know that it's not going to be a word that means happiness, because we can tell from the sentence that Troy is not very happy about not winning class president. So which one of these words would be it? Let's say you don't know any of these words. Again, practice pulling up a dictionary real quick. Now, I've already done that. So each of my words right here, I pulled up in a dictionary. And all I did was Google dictionary and I put up the word. Look at our first word. This one right here, okay? So this word, hey, let's see. Unctuous. I've never heard of that word before in my life. So again, a new word that I can add to my own personal dictionary. And what does this word mean? It means excessively or ingratiatingly, flattering, oily. So I know what the word excessively means. So, or fawning, let's see, subservient, insincere, humble. Would that word fit? Let's go back and try to put this word into our sentence. So, Troy was, let's say, again, choose a different synonym, excessively. So Troy was excessive when he wasn't elected class president. His spirits were so low that there was nothing we could say or do to cheer him up. I'm thinking that this may not be the correct word, so I'm going to cross this one out and go through a process of elimination. So I will look up the second word, which I already did, and I have it here. Okay? So our second word, which is, okay, and we take a look at this one, and what does it mean? Without consolation or comfort, unhappy. So he's woeful, dejected, downcast, downhearted. Would that fit here? Okay, let's take a look. So he's woeful, he's downhearted. What were some other synonyms that we used with it? That one we there. Here it is. Discouraged, glum, gloomy. All of these are different synonyms that we could put in place. So we can say glum or gloomy. Troy was glum or gloomy when he wasn't elected class president. His spirits were so low that there was nothing we could say or do to cheer him up. I'm thinking that that might be a good choice, okay? But just like any good student, what you want to do is make sure you go through all of these words to see which one is the best fitting one, okay? Because this word is definitely telling us that it's not a happy situation. Let's go to the next word right here. Okay. Yeah, that's a word I've never heard of before either. And what does it mean? Cheerful and full of energy. Okay. So I'm thinking that automatically that's not going to be the correct word, because again, using our context clues, right? We can tell that this is not a happy situation, so there's no way he's going to be cheerful, because it says right here that his spirits were so low and down, right? They couldn't cheer him up. So no, that one is totally not going to be it, so I'm going to cross it off, process of elimination. And going over to our next word, inscrutable. There we go. Inscrutable. Impossible to understand or to interpret. Impossible to understand. Troy was impossible to understand when he wasn't elected class president. That all right there is telling me it's not really making sense. I think it's very clear that, he's understandable. We know that he is not happy. So again, through a process of elimination, I'm going to cut this one out. And let's see, tenacious. And the last one, tenacious. And remember, I just pulled up these words before I started recording, so it's not like I'm going really fast with my typing. I'm not. It was already pulled up for me. Okay, so what's that mean? Tending to keep a firm hold of something. So a firm, tight, fast clinginess. Okay, so being very tenacious means you're holding on to it. You're determined. Okay, so Troy was determined when he wasn't elected class president. His spirits were so low that there was nothing we could say or do to cheer him up. So again, so would it be tenacious, or would it be E, or would it be B? So again, I'm thinking that this one is out, and this one is the best fitting word, so our best answer choice here would be B. So that's where I'm going to leave it for now, because you could go through the same process through each one of these and figure out the difference between the words and what makes sense according to context clues, or again, simply going to Google and typing in dictionary. And then when you do that, what normally pops up is space right here, and you type in any word that you're looking for to get a definition to help you through some of these questions. And we'll be going through some of them, maybe a little bit with a little bit of a space race there, and going through it with the vocabulary for these questions right here, and also while using your context clue skills. All right, my friends, that's where I'm going to leave it for now, and I will see you next Saturday.